Hey folks, Malforian here, and welcome back to the channel. Well, we finally have it. Crusader Kings 3 expansion got announced. It's going to be tours and tournaments, so some of you were correct in your guesses. I think a lot of people guessed it might be tours or like moving around your realm or something like that, so that is what the expansion is going to be. There's also some other cool stuff in there. We are getting Regency as well, kind of tagged on. It wasn't in the announcement really, but it is later in the dev diary that you can see at the moment. So we're going to go through this. They did release this dev diary basically as soon as it got announced, so I'll put the trailer at the end of the video as well. But yeah, there's some news about what's coming in, the features, Regency is going to be a part of this, and then also some console news as well at the end, which is cool for you guys, getting some updates finally. And yeah, we're just going to cover all this obviously in the future, the next weeks or months before we actually get the expansion, because they didn't announce a release date, unfortunately. There's obviously going to be dev diaries about all these features, so if you enjoy it, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to be covering these before it all comes out. So here we go. Come one, come all. The Grand Tournament awaits your attendance. Your steed has been readied and your entourage assembled for the journey ahead. So I think looking at this, and we'll obviously see during the dev diary and in the future, it does look like another, I wouldn't say a roleplay focused expansion, but it does seem like there's a lot here. If you do roleplay the game more than min-max it, there's going to be a little bit more here, I think, for you to maybe enjoy. But we'll obviously see as we go through everything. The life of a ruler was always active, and there were many things to attend to. Most courts at the time were not static, roaming from place to place constantly. Tours and tournaments aims to give rulers plenty of things to do, especially during times of peace, by introducing new systems of travel and grand activities. So the grand activities, I think they've shown off like weddings, obviously tournaments. I think there's a few other things as well. But yeah, it's all going to be about, I think, giving you more to do, you know, especially if you're role-playing, as I said, or if you're just playing as a character that, you know, you don't want to do war all the time. There's going to be more and more for you to do in the game, which is cool. So as mentioned in the floor plan dev diary, we want to reinforce the connection between the character and the map. After all, the game is played on a beautiful medieval map, and no longer will the only time your ruler leaves the safety of the capital be when you are at war. That's not true. You could travel to other festivities and stuff already, but I get what they're saying. There's an entire world out there to explore, filled with both great opportunities and adventurous obstacles. So yeah, this is all about traveling around. As you can see on the map in the first screenshot, it's all about traveling around your vassals, and I think you can go to other realms and things like that. So all cool new stuff coming. By assembling an entourage, selecting options for your travel, and hiring a caravan master, you're able to set out on the road and travel to activities across the world. The travel system is an integral part of activities, with both host and guest traveling along with them, creating a stronger feeling of place as you see your route plotted and your character moving directly on the map. So that'd be cool. I wonder whether you see other people's. You know, if you're England, do you see France? Do you see the French king moving around his map? I wonder if there's like an intrigue. Maybe if you do some kind of intrigue thing, you can see where he's traveling to. It'd be cool if they did that, where you could see where they were going to go to, and then you could like advance set up plots to happen in certain places that it's going to. That would be a really cool way to redo the plot system in some ways. I'm not sure if that is part of it. That would be a cool addition if that is what happens, though. But yeah, as you can see here, this is obviously the Duke of Bohemia. He's going out on a tour. He's going from Prague to Kaslav to some other places, obviously visiting all his vassals and just having a good old time on his way around the map. So what are these activities that you ask? There are plenty. First, we've updated and revamped feasts, hunts, and pilgrimages completely, the bread and butter of activities. Oh, so yeah, I guess pilgrimages, do you see them on the map now? That'd be really good if you could see pilgrimages. So, you know, you're going from England to Rome, you actually see your character move along the map on his way there, and events. It looks like in this first screenshot, maybe this is going to be like an event happens. I'm not sure. I don't think they cover it further down, but it would be cool if like, oh, an event will happen here. Something else will happen here. Being able to see pilgrimages on the map will be awesome. I mean, the same for feasts and hunts, but I think pilgrimages is the big one. Being able to actually see your character pilgrimage to the place is going to be really good. There's now a reason to hunt in a specific forest within your domain, as a ferocious wolf or legendary stag might have been spotted there, or a reason to hold a feast in a holding with leisure palaces, as you might need to impress a particular unruly vassal. Pilgrimage will be epic journeys, potentially taking you years if you're going far, making it necessary for a regent to rule in your stead. All activities have dedicated interfaces and easily accessible information, and beautiful art to set the scene. So yeah, a lot here already that's coming. So yeah, it looks like feasts, you now choose where you hold them. So if you've got an upgraded holding, I guess, that's really good, it's better to hold it there. Same with hunts. It looks like you might, from what it says here, it looks like forests might get like an icon or something pop up and say, oh, there's potentially a beast in this forest. Do you want to go hunt there? And then it will trigger this to happen. Or maybe when you start it, it will say like, oh, this area looks like it might have somewhere. Go hunt here, rather than at the moment it's just a, an event and then basically a dice roll to see what happens. It looks like you might have a little bit more control in it. And then, the other thing, obviously, pilgrimage. As I was saying, it looks like you do actually travel on the map. It's going to take years. And during that time, like in history, you will have to put a regent in charge of your realm whilst you're off doing pilgrimage. Not like at the moment where you go on pilgrimage, you're not in your realm, but you're just controlling everything anyway. and like, nothing changes with regards to like your power or your control over your realm. You actually have to put a regent and then you go and travel. It's going to be super interesting to see how that mechanic works. It would be amazing if it was like, I don't know if you've ever watched the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie or something like that. Whilst the king was away, the regent basically took over the country and was like, nah, I'm basically going to be king now. Doesn't matter if the guy comes back or not. I'm basically in charge. So it'd be really interesting to see how that works. If you could have that happen, you put somebody in as a regent and then they don't do what you want them to do or something like that. So we'll see. Obviously, I don't think they go into a great deal of detail in this about how they work, but obviously that will be an upcoming dev diary. So as I said, subscribe and like, and we'll cover that in the future. And then, of course, the grand activities are even more impactful, each of them different in their own magnificent way. They have options and intents which affect reward and the type of content you might encounter. Our aim is to make each activity have a clear purpose and be interesting in its own right. Therefore, we choose to make grand tournaments, grand tours, and grand weddings, 3 vastly different activities with vastly different executions and purposes. And here we go, new UI, example of activity types and the initial step in them. So do you want to do a grand wedding or a bloody wedding? Interesting. Is this like the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones? You can get everyone to come to your wedding and then just kill them all? That would be amazing if you could do that. That'd be crazy. So yeah, it looks like you can basically choose which one you want to do. And obviously that starts the events and how it's going to work. Grand tournaments are a way to test your mettle, spectacles to be announced far and wide with rewards ranging from precious trinkets to fabulous prizes. Grand tournaments aren't only for martial inclined characters. There are contests such as melees and jousts. There are also cerebral ones such as recitals and board games, somewhere to actually use board games. You can join your knights in a slippery wrestling, eagle-eyed archery, dangerous horse racing, and vicious team melees, all clad in gleaming armor, brandishing your coat of arms for the masses to see. So yeah, we're going to get big tournaments. This is amazing. This art here, I don't know if they've updated. This is a snapshot of the tournament UI. Tournaments, unlike other grand activities, have an extra special interface. Oh, I thought this was on the map. I was like, wow, the art's even, the map art's amazing. Like, it's got even better. But it looks like this is a special like UI that pops up, and it's basically like shows your tournament grounds wherever they are. So that makes more sense, because I was like, wow, this looks absolutely amazing. I mean, the map's good in the game, but this looks incredible. But yeah, looking at this, it looks like this is going to be like a different UI that pops up once you start the tournament. So this is obviously the tournament grounds. They've got all the other things around here. And yeah, it looks like you'd be able to take part in it. This has been really cool. I think this can be awesome for like if you have a larger realm as well. Make empires feel a little bit different. If you're in the HRE, and obviously all the vassals are going to come to a massive tournament that the Kaiser holds, and you're all going to be like meeting each other, doing different events, fighting. Bad stuff could happen, good stuff could happen. So I really like the sound of this. You're going to earn awesome rewards. It doesn't go into what the rewards are. Again, that'll be a future dev diary, I'm sure. But I'm liking this. I think this UI looks amazing. So super happy with this. Grand tours see you assemble your entire court and set out to visit vassals in your realm. An activity commonly undertaken by medieval rulers. So again, it's just making it a bit more historically accurate, I guess. This is how it worked then. So it's cool to see it come to the game. This is a way to assert your overlordship, whilst also enjoying the hospitality your vassals have to offer. There are various paths to take: intimidation, majesty, or taxation, all affecting the rewards and opinions of your vassals. At its core, tours are a tool for realm stability, and something for a newly ascended ruler should undertake quite early to avoid factions and revolts. Oh, that's good. It's going to give you a way to kind of head off those early rebellions, especially if you've had your father or your mother was a bad ruler, and then when you take over, it's a bad time. This looks like a way of trying to head that off. I'll do a tour, bit of peacekeeping, maybe give some gold out here, some rewards out here, something like this, and it's going to make people like you a little bit more straight away. So that's actually a cool little side effect of that. You may also choose your different ways of approaching your vassals individually. You might want to tour the grounds, observe a cultural festival, or simply have a private dinner hosted for you. Again, sounds pretty good. I like it. Grand weddings allow you to marry above your station if you're willing to pay the cost. They also provide ample opportunity for diplomatic shenanigans. Always love some shenanigans. Such as impressing neighbouring rulers into becoming vassals. That's nice. Forming hard-to-get alliances or creating favourable matches for your children. The impressing neighbouring rulers into becoming vassals, I wonder if that's actually a separate event or just a modifier that like puts them above the voluntarily vassalization option. It'd be cool to see how that works. Of course, these spectacles come with everything you'd expect out of medieval ceremony, rivalries, drama, even a bedding ritual at the end, and you can invite a group of mercenaries to colour the halls crimson with the blood of the other house, should you desire it. So yeah, it does sound like the bloody wedding here is going to be like the Red Wedding, if it's in Game of Thrones, where everyone just gets murdered, basically, and they just kill everyone off. Yeah, it looks like that's how it works. So yeah, travel. So this is a caravan master. I guess maybe the better they are, the quicker. Oh, yes, yeah. So yeah, how much speed they take and the safety. So yeah, I guess if you spend more on your caravan master, you spend more on your guards and a forder. If you're crossing a river, it's going to make it quicker, obviously. And yeah, customize a route. Remaining dangers en route. So yeah, all these dangers here. So obviously, the more you spend on it, the quicker it's going to be, the safer it's going to be. And then the grand wedding here, recreation. These are the two people getting married, I guess. And then activity options, looks like you could be able to choose like how fancy it's going to be. I guess a bit like the royal court, where you get the 5 options for making it more fancy and things like that. It looks like this is probably music, food, and maybe location, or yeah, this looks like maybe location, this one, I'd imagine. You're going to have it in a cathedral or something, maybe. And then obviously start the grand wedding. And it looks like you do the tour. It looks like these people here are... I don't know what this icon means. This one here looks like it's a rival. So you're going into your rivals, like a rival vassal or a similar level ruler as you, and he doesn't like you, so probably risky to go in there. Maybe that's when like a plot would happen or something. These maybe just mean like nothing special is going to happen. But this, yeah, that's the icon for rival. So yeah, it looks like he's crossing into some rival territory. And, maybe some bad stuff's going to happen. But again, I like this. It's going to be cool. You can customize the route. You can have it all in this one UI, see what's going to happen and all that stuff. And I like that you can specialize. Well, not specialize them, but there's like customization as in, there is a caravan master. Do you want guards or not? Do you have money for a forder or not? Again, just making it a little bit more interesting rather than just being press a button and it just happens. It's really good. You can change all these options by the looks of it. And then some of you managed to cleverly figure it out. There's a brand new regency system, as I mentioned, where we've made sure that it's both interesting to have and be a regent. Oh, so you can be a regent yourself. Loyal regents help dutifully fulfilling their mandates, and being the regent of your liege gives you opportunity with varying degrees of bloodshed. Seize the throne for yourself should you be doing a good job. So yeah, no, it is going to work like that. And you can be a regent yourself. That's awesome. So again, if we use HRE, if the Kaiser's off on a crusade or off on a pilgrimage and he makes you the regent, it looks like he's going to fulfilling their mandates. It looks like maybe they give you something to do, or maybe they just say like, don't start wars, or can you make this person happy? I don't know. We'll see obviously in the future. But yeah, it looks like you can basically do that. Or, as I said before, just go, nah, I'm just going to take over. So I wonder if it starts like a faction. I wonder if whilst he's gone, you can start a faction and say like, yeah, I'm staying in charge, guys. Who's with me? And then maybe you have an event like this and you kill off everyone that doesn't agree with you, or that's going to be really cool, actually. I'm super hyped for that system. It's going to be really interesting to see. It's going to make playing as a vassal, I think, more interesting. If you can become a regent, I can imagine some cool campaigns where you're just a lowly count or duke and you get made the regent because the king likes you, and then you could just go crazy and crazy things happen. There's also a myriad of other changes. We'll go into the future dev diaries, as I said. Small systematic updates to buildings, knights, and vassal opinion. I mean, that makes sense because all those are affected by this system. As I said, the opinions, it sounds like you can change through these systems. And then knights, I imagine, are going to get fleshed out a little bit more because they're going to be fighting in the tournaments and things like that. And then buildings, the same, because the tours and things, you can go to certain locations. So I imagine how buildings work is going to change. Like, they're going to be maybe more customizable. Maybe like in Crusader Kings 2, when you had the, was it monuments? Where you could build something and then add to it with different things. So I imagine it might work a little bit like that. Maybe you can set up like a hunting grounds where you always go to because you've upgraded it so much and things like that. So we'll obviously see in the future. So take to the road, ruler. Great opportunities await. And that's it. That's the expansion announcement. That's just a quick overview of basically how it's gonna the main features of it, the main kind of overview of it. I'm pretty happy with this. I like it. At first, I thought it was going to be really RP focused, and I don't know, not much that, maybe if you min-max the game, there's not going to be as much in it for you. But reading some of these changes, I think there's stuff for everyone here. It's obviously going to be interesting to see how they actually work in game. But from what I've seen, let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, we'll have a chat down there. But I like what I've seen. There's stuff for everyone here. There's martial stuff. There's intimidation. There's being able to take over realms. There's, having a little bit more control over the events that you can do. So this isn't what I guess thought the expansion was going to be, but it is actually another one building on the base of the game, making events interesting. It's not just, every 5 years I'll press go on a hunt, I'll just click through the buttons, I'll get my 150 prestige. I do like it's going to take a little bit more options in there. It'd be interesting to see if you can do it the old way, I guess. If you're just not interested, if you're just min-maxing an empire or something, and you don't want to go into all this detail, I wonder if there is a way to... It's maybe like a court position. That would be a cool way to do it. A court position where you just have somebody like master of events, and he just organizes them and just comes to you and says like, hey, master, I've got a grand wedding procession planned. Do you want to do it? And you just go, yeah, let's do it. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting if that works that way, because that would be cool for players who don't want to go into this every time. I think people have that with the Royal Court. Like, it's fun for the first bit, but if you're doing a long campaign, you're just like, okay, I'll just click through the buttons and just get through this. I'm not interested. It'd be cool if there is a way to do that. Or if you want to go into the detail, you can specialize it more, as we've seen in the screenshots. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. That's our first overview. Just a quick look. There's obviously, I think, going to be a lot more dev diaries coming up. As I said, no release date, sadly, but we'll find that out when we do. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm pretty hype about it. We'll see when it comes out. And then before I forget, they did actually announce, it isn't announced here, but it was announced during the live stream, that console players, you are getting Royal Court. They didn't say when exactly. They did say it was coming in spring. So, I mean, we're already in March. So I imagine in the next month or two, you are actually going to get the Royal Court. So console players, you are finally getting some more content. And then hopefully Fate of Iberia is not too long behind that. But yeah, you are actually getting Royal Court. Like I said, they didn't say when. They might have announced it since then. I have not looked, obviously, whilst I've been recording this. But yep, Royal Court is coming for you guys. So hopefully it comes out soon. As always, if you've enjoyed it, hit that like button. I'll be covering, obviously, this all in the future. It helps other people find the channel as well in the future. And if you have enjoyed it, it's your first time here, I play historical games on the channel. I cover all the dev dives for Crusader Kings and a couple of other games. And I do historical and role-play campaigns and things like that as well. So if that's your kind of thing, you know what to do. Hit subscribe. But we'll leave it there for today. We've got the expansion, and I'll see you next time.
A tournament. A time for festivity and games. But also an occasion to build alliances. Some even bloodier than the martial feats on display. An unhappy princess. Can she find a champion for her doomed cause? One whose virtue and valor can restore glory to her faded family name? Or one who will protect her name by hook or by crook and help her get revenge? Real strategy requires cunning.